TL travelers, and welcome to or welcome back to the TL Travel YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. We just recently got back from Las Vegas, and this is going to be my thoughts on Vegas video. If you like travel content, be sure to hit that subscribe button because there's always more where this came from. But for now, I just want to hop into the video. But first, I did just want to make a little bit of a disclaimer because I know people love Las Vegas. I know that they do, and I can understand why people love Las Vegas. I truly can. It really isn't my favorite place. It's not my cup of tea. With that said, I'm going to do my best to give you guys my pros and cons for Las Vegas in a way that will help you sort of figure out if it's the place for you, instead of just like saying that I don't love it, so you shouldn't love it, because that's not fair. Everyone travels differently. So that's just sort of my disclaimer. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So my number one pro for Las Vegas is going to be just how easy it is to book. There is no way around it. Booking for Vegas is just like, it's just the easiest thing to do. You can book your flights and your hotels together. Shows and activities and things once you get down there are super, super easy to book. There is a ton of stuff on the strip. So if you're staying on the strip, it's super convenient to eat at the restaurants that you want and see the shows that you want and do all of the things that you want without having to sort of jump around the city and figure out the transit system and all of that. The same thing goes if you just feel like lounging around in the sun. There really seems to be something for everybody in Las Vegas, so it just makes it a really easy destination to book and an easy destination to get a bunch of people together to commit to doing or going or visiting. You know, Vegas is easy. My second pro for Las Vegas is going to be how short the flight is. Now, obviously, if you guys are watching this video from somewhere else around the world, this won't apply to you, but I am in Canada. So for me, agreeing to a trip to Vegas means a short 2.5 hour flight down there and a direct flight, which I'm in. Not only am I in Canada, but I am in Northern Canada, and we generally don't have direct flights to like any international destinations, especially hot ones. So for me as a Canadian, Vegas is great for just how close it is to be able to get somewhere hot and do it quickly and not have to deal with layovers and things like that. If you are in the United States, same. And my third pro for Las Vegas comes back to the ease of booking and ease of doing things. There really is something there for everybody. Lots to do, lots of exciting things happening. If you're into shows, if you're into spas, if you're into gambling, if you're into drinking, whatever you want at any time of the day, you can pretty much find it in Las Vegas. So that makes Las Vegas the perfect destination for those of you who just don't ever want to be bored. Now, moving on to the cons, again, as I sort of alluded to in the beginning of this video, or just straight out said, Vegas is not really my cup of tea. So the things that I consider to be cons may not be things that you consider to be cons at all. And that is great news because that will be a perfect indication for you that Vegas is exactly where you want to go on your next holiday, on your next vacation. And yeah, if this video can help you decide that you do want to go to Vegas, that is just as great as if you decide that you feel the same way that I do and maybe it's not the spot for you. Either way, just here to help. My first con kind of goes back to my third pro about there being something there for everybody, from amazing food to great shows to the gambling to the swimming and relaxing and the spas and just all of the stuff that's always going on. There's so much stuff to do in Las Vegas, and if you go with the right people, it can be an absolutely amazing time, I'm sure. However, the one thing that I have sort of found on both my first Vegas trip and this Vegas trip that we just came back from is that even though there is something in Las Vegas for everyone, if everyone wants to do something different, then it sort of ends up being like as if there's nothing to do. So deciding ahead of time what kind of things you want to see and do, and choosing the group that you're going to travel with accordingly would be a huge benefit for Las Vegas, so that you know if you're going to be doing certain things alone or if you're going to have people that will want to join in those activities with you. My second con is just sort of regarding like just the whole Vegas thing, the way that things go on the strip, is that sometimes it just feels like if you aren't VIP or if you're not willing to shell out the cash, it's not even really worth it. I know that in one of my vlogs, I briefly mentioned that we were at Beer Park on the Las Vegas Strip and that we were having a great time, just loving life, until a VIP came and bought out the whole section that we were in, and everybody had to leave their tables and the pool tables and all the games behind because someone had come, shelled out the cash, and just paid for that whole section to be theirs private. So that kind of sucked, and that's not the only time that that happened, and that's not the first time that that has happened. It won't be the last time that that happens. And the same thing sort of goes for nightlife. I found this was my like biggest struggle, my first go around in Las Vegas, and it didn't really bother me that much this time because I sort of went in prepared for it. But even still, when it comes to the nightclubs and the bars and things like that, essentially, if you don't pay for bottle service or you don't pay for VIP or you don't pay for a booth, you can't sit anywhere and relax. You are either leaning against the bar or you are dancing or you're just kind of standing in the middle of a hallway. For me, I absolutely love to dance and like go to the clubs and, you know, all that great stuff. However, I also like to have a table to go back to, or even like a bar stool to go back to sit and maybe chat. Derek isn't really a big dancer, not really a big drinker, so I'm sure that he would have loved to have somewhere to just sit, and to pay a few $100s just to have somewhere to sit, I don't know, it just doesn't seem so worth it. And my third con, and the one that it really comes down to for me, is just the price. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. You can get huge discounts on flight and hotel packages to Vegas. Super easy, super close, super cheap. What's the problem? But once you're down there, things are they're just more expensive, especially for Canadians right now, and the exchange rate being what it is. That like extra upmarking on prices of things in Las Vegas is just even more extra because of the exchange rate. Now, that being said, I am totally one of those people, and Derek is the same, where if the experience is going to be amazing or the food is going to be amazing, we don't mind putting the money up for that. I know that there have been many times in our lives where we have spent probably more than we should have on an experience or a meal or a hotel, knowing full well that it was going to be amazing. And you know, YOLO, you can't take your money with you to the grave, so why not spend it? However, what we do take issue with is spending an absurd amount of money on a mediocre service or a mediocre meal. For example, having to spend $22 on a grilled cheese sandwich and french fries. So for me, the prices in Las Vegas just don't really work out to getting your dollar's worth for what you're paying. That's my opinion, however. And if you are one of those people who is like a lot of people who go to Las Vegas, who's there to spend the money and there to shell out that cash, then by all means, you do you, boo. And my last con for Las Vegas is going to be one that I will admit may make me sound like a bit of a travel snob. That is not my intention either. However, I do want to differentiate sort of my opinion as someone who does travel all the time. What I disliked about Las Vegas, which is something that if you don't travel all the time, you might love about Las Vegas, if that makes any sense. So for me, that con is that I feel like a lot of the experiences that you have in Las Vegas can be done elsewhere in the world in a better way, and also in a cheaper way. So as someone who travels a lot and has been blessed with the opportunity to travel a lot, and I do not take that for granted at all whatsoever, I just want to make that clear, things like dune buggying and like the Vegas version of the London Eye and going up in the Eiffel Tower and like going on a roller coaster at New York, New York. All of those things are great for Las Vegas, and if you don't travel and Vegas is gonna be your one big trip for the year and you're gonna shell out the money to do all those things, it's gonna be great having all of that stuff in one place. I 100% like hands down will admit that. However, for me as someone who has been on the London Eye and gone up the Eiffel Tower and seen the beautiful view over the park and seen it all lit up beautifully at night, and as someone who has seen shows in New York on Broadway versus seeing them on the Strip in Las Vegas, and as someone who has had a Thai massage in Thailand, etc., etc. The list goes on and on, but you get the idea. And for me as someone who, for example, has had a Thai massage, an amazing Thai massage for $4 in Thailand, it's very hard to rationalize going to Las Vegas and getting a $150 Thai massage from like Judy from Jersey. I don't know, Judy from Jersey. So I hope that that con for me kind of made sense. And again, if you are one of those people who are looking to have a lot of those things all available to you in one place and you're willing to pay the money for it, then that could be a huge pro for you, and Vegas might be exactly where you want to be. So that is going to be it for me for today and my thoughts on Las Vegas. I really hope that I was able to get my thoughts out. I'm not going to lie, I'm still suffering from a little bit of, I want to say jet lag. It's not really jet lag because there was no time change and it was a super short flight. But that Vegas sleep schedule, you know, where you're like up until all hours and then you're sleeping in or getting up early and then napping, and I'm all over the place, my brain's all over the place, and we're leaving for Thailand soon. So I have just been working my little touche off. Yep, see how I avoided that curse right there? Mama be proud. So if you have not already, hit that subscribe button, definitely do it, because you are not gonna wanna miss our travels in Thailand. If you missed our Vegas vlogs, be sure to go back and check those out, because at the end of the day, regardless of all the pros and cons, I did have a really fun time in Las Vegas with my peeps. It just isn't somewhere that I would want to go back to again and again. And until next time, stay great, travel safe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.